Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and today on the HermitCraft server, as you can tell, the Ever Given model, also known as Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamboat, has definitely arrived in the Strait of Gibraltar. Now, we made great progress on the containers last episode, and we got a rough shape of the hull in on both sides, but what we don't have right now is a lot of the details that'll really make this build stand out as a true model rather than a lazy homage. Now, a few of those details are pretty straightforward. Like on the front of the ship, there's a retaining wall that is going to hold the containers in place. A container retainer, if you will. So that's going to be about 4 blocks high. I wanted to get that in real quick. That's not too challenging. I say unable to place any blocks where they go twice in a row. That's fine. You know, this is not the sort of thing that I have the pattern recognition to realize I'm bad at, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take a break from doing that. I'm going to move on to this next thing here, which is there's an antenna in the front of the ship, or the bow of the ship, that is going to go up to about this tall. Boom. Got that sorted. Now, there's actually also supposed to be like kind of retainer railings all along here, and there's like bracing and stuff that kind of hold the shipping containers in place, right? And those are going to kind of come up like this. I think they only go up about 5 containers high, according to the pictures that I'm seeing here. And then there's also railings that go along the side here. Now, I haven't figured out, do I want to have it go out like that in the cases where the ship cuts, or do I maybe just not? I don't know. So, we would have the railing running all along the side here, and then we would have the bracing going up higher, and we would have running backwards be a poor strategy for many elements of this build. But that's going to add an additional level of kind of three-dimensionality to this. Right now, it's very flat, even though the colors are there, and there is that depth change because of the tilt. I feel like once we get these accent details in here, it's going to really make the build feel more three-dimensional. So I'm going to go ahead and start, railing against the lack of those, I guess you could say. Now, with the bracing, there is some question of, like, where do we put these 5-high braces? Like, they should be every single row of containers, roughly, where the changeover is. So maybe we do 3, 4, 5... Wait, actually, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! Okay, we did it. So if we do them on the leading edges here, 2, 3, 4. That should probably work well enough. There we go. Here's another leading edge. 3, 4. Get rid of that extra one. Now, I figure if we just do a whole bunch of these, it'll look great. And if it doesn't look great, then we'll tear it all down and start over, because I don't know what else to do. I have traveled around the entire ship, placing supports to hold these containers in place. I have got scuppers and hawse holes on the sides and the back of the ship, also known as the stern, for you pinball nerds out there, where the tow cables can be affixed. Now, we also have gone through and I started working on getting my name on the side of the ship. I wrote Joe Hills, and I based that off a photo I found of the Ever Given from a long time ago. I think when it was initially created, the name Evergreen was written pretty small on the side of the ship, about this size proportionally. But then when I was looking at more recent photos from the Suez incident, I realized that the lettering on this should actually be 5 blocks high, not 3 blocks high. And that's great, because I kind of took some shortcuts to cram these letters in here. So I am feeling good about the idea. Let's sneak behind here And we can just kind of hop up. Not really hop. We can fly and then smack our heads onto here. And, you know, we can just start playing with this. This is like putty in our hands, right? You know, all of a sudden, now we have the option, making the J higher. We can have it extend to here. Whoa, look at that. We can take the O and really kind of extend it vertically. You know, that's another option we have. Should we have brought extra green terracotta to do this? Yes. Is it too late to fix that? No. We can do a soft cut here. There we go. That is looking much better now. Look, compare this to the original, which we still have on the other side. We have to redo them both. Oof. The E on the 3 tall was especially kind of hurting. So, yeah. I want to see what this looks like from Doc's house, because, of course, that's where the most distinguished members of the server are going to be visiting Doc and viewing this from. So, let's see. Oh, yeah. That is easily legible in the distance there. Yup. Not a problem. That works. I almost wonder if I should move my portal so that Doc has a better view of the ship. We wouldn't want to do anything that blocks this. Get it? Blocks, because it's Minecraft. Time skip! Look at that, folks. We have both our tower, along with its 7 windows, its antennae, and our smokestack in the back placed. This ship is really coming together. It's really pulling the whole Strait of Gibraltar together. But in order to really pull the Strait of Gibraltar together truly, we need to do a couple more things. 1, we need to finish this side of the front of the ship. 2, we need to fill in the sand out to here and on the back. We need to actually have this thing, whoops, be properly run aground, front and back, for this joke to really land. So I am feeling like that's going to be some resource gathering and some pretty basic resource placement. So let's go ahead and be on our way. Time skip! Welcome back to the Strait of Gibraltar, Dolphins. I'm sure you saw B-Dubs' latest episode in which he featured prominently Joseph's amazing Technicolor Dreamboat here. Now, I realized after seeing my name in huge letters on the side of the Dreamboat in B-Dubs' episode, I really just wanted to, like, make this more about us, you know? Cleo pointed out that she worked hard on this. Ren and Asuma were more polite, but you know what? They're all correct. We need to celebrate HermitCraft on the boat there. Now, the interesting thing about B-Dubs' episode, if you didn't see it, was that he talked about how the river in his base was something that really called him to settle there in the first place. And in order to move a villager from his base to the shopping district, he actually extended this little valley here. He dug this out and filled it with water so it could be navigable. I'm navigating it now. Look at me, turning adjectives into verbs like some sort of old-timey sea captain left adrift in a rowboat on account of his vocabulistic peculiarities. But, oh no, that was a squid. Either way, we are going to keep going this way. I wanted to really showcase, though. B-Dubs connected his river all the way over here. This was about where it used to end. And he dug out that entire channel there and filled it in with source blocks because he wanted to take one of his villagers to the shopping district. You know, and he framed this like this was his plan all along. He settled this beautiful, idyllic village here on the banks of this fine river because he knew that one day he could connect it to the shopping district with exactly the plan that he just did. You know, this is the fulfillment of a nearly season-long goal for him. And, you know, we should all applaud him for actualizing his dreams. That was up on his little dream board, and now it's in our valley. But, you know, here's the funny thing. That river actually already connected to the shopping district. Fun fact, if you just take that river and go the other way, like I'm doing now, we can just follow this along here. Is that a yellow sheep? That's fun. And I believe that this will eventually reach the Hermitlantic Ocean. Just gently following this beautiful natural course. None of this part B-dubs did. This was already here, right? We've got this gorgeous river that just legitimately gives his base a wet, splashy hug, right? It's just amazing how natural Minecraft world generation can be. You know, so from here we can see there's the big thing, there's that there, and then we are just kind of entering this saltwater marsh here, where the fresh water hits the delta, and the salt water gets backed up and brackish, and it's kind of one of those wetland ecosystems that everybody loves. So, anyway, B-dubs could have taken his villager this way to get to the shopping district. You know? He didn't need to dig that whole channel. That's just, you know, a huge amount of effort for very little payoff when you consider that this path here existed already. You know? And commerce on the HermitCraft surface. See, now I'm out here in the Hermitlantic Ocean. Nothing can stop me from reaching the shopping district with my villagers. I'm B00100. Let me use my B-dubs voice. Hey everybody, I'm B00100, and I got my villager here with me, and I am going straight to the shopping district, unimpeded by any sort of interruption to transit here on the HermitCraft server. There is no reason that I cannot safely deliver this villager without any amount of personal inconvenience or problem. False. Look at this. I blocked commerce on the server. B00 could have come this way. He could have come this way with his villager, but I legitimately impeded commerce on the server. He had to dig a whole channel through that valley there in order to get to the shopping district. We did it, everybody. We have created a working model of the Evergiven. Fully functional. I am so excited about that. You might also notice that I've got my night vision on. That's because I came down here and I started doing a whole bunch of terraforming. I haven't actually, like, inside the ship, I haven't actually, like, put the bottom in yet. We'll deal with that in another episode. This is a great space we can use for a future build. But I have rolled through here, kind of creating a wiry framework with the cobble and then dumping sand atop it, like paper mache. And so that way the ship legitimately feels like it's lodged when you look at it in the distance here. I mean, we're not distant enough yet, but I really just couldn't have those areas be that, like, it was so close to actually touching the shore, and now I'm doing a terrible job of staying afloat here. But I believe in me. I can do it. Here we go. Look at this. The back of the ship, also known as the stern, has been run aground as well with a similar kind of system. I put in some cobble, I put in some sand in front of it, and now we have a little fish tank here. The fish can hang out here. That's fun for them, it's fun for me, it's fun for you. So, of course, it's not fun for B00100, but you know what? That's fine. Sometimes, when you build something that's an eyesore for one neighbor, you accidentally impede the commerce of another. But yeah, I never set out to build a functional model of the Evergiven, people. But we did it today. And, you know, I'm just thrilled about that. Once again, that river totally connects to the ocean. And instead, B-dubs had to dig a valley out and connect it. Mission accomplished. So, anyway, as we watch the sun set over the Strait of Gibraltar here, let's go somewhere that the render distance is a little bit more impressive. Yeah, let's go up here, so we can appreciate the terraforming work I did. There we go. Chug another night vision potion. just for good measure. Boom. That's kind of surreal. But you know what? That's HermitCraft at its best, in my opinion. So, anyway, you may have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to $50 a month Patreon sponsor Alex White. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a haiku of my own devising. Lodged in the Suez, then lodged in our hearts and minds, you may rest here now. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.